Good evening. Good evening. How you doing? This is Coach Karvell Bailey, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Life and Basketball. And on this show is where we basically talk about how both basketball and life are synergistic, how they both intertwine and have a lot of things in common. And so, what we do is we invite basketball players, basketball coaches on to share their story of how a little orange basketball helped change and oftentimes save their lives. So the show is being brought to you by Bless the Ball Skill Development Academy, as well as understanding life through the game of basketball. If you like this show, you'll definitely love this book because a lot of us were taught and we coach and teach this same way. We teach basic basketball principles that apply to life. And so that's what this show is all about. And so I am excited. I am totally excited to bring on my special guest tonight. Now, this individual is somebody who probably maybe didn't even know that I have my eye on them. And, to so many athletes, young athletes, you are always on stage. You are always being looked at. You are always being watched. And I've watched this gentleman for a while now. And I just, frankly, I love his work ethic. I love his work ethic. The title of today's episode is called Press On, right? Press On. And I love this gentleman's work ethic. I love his attitude. I love his silent demeanor, oftentimes off the court in the way that he comports and represents himself, but on the court, he's a totally different individual. And so I am pleased to announce, this guy has not only been a tremendous basketball player on the high school level, the college level, as well as the professional level. He's taken the summer Chicago pro-am by storm, but he's also a tremendous coach that teaches the game the right way. So I want to present to some and introduce to others, again, somebody that I respect a lot and I love his work ethic, and I'm pleased to bring forward my man, Jeremy Saffold. Saffold, how you doing, man?
Sir.
Man, how
I'm
you
good,
doing?
man. I'm good. How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Man,
I'm good, man. I've been waiting for my moment to get on there. I've been waiting for my moment to get on here, man.
Hey, well, I tell you what, man,
Been waiting.
you got you got said Pennington all the way from the ATL and popped in. Now that's my main man, and he don't do Facebook a lot.
Yeah. Oh, for real? Yeah. Nah, that's my dog.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Said know the real me. Said
yeah.
know
Oh,
the real me.
he
Yeah,
gonna
said
probably
know the
call me
real me.
after this too. He probably gonna call me after this and let me
Yeah.
know, man. So,
Yeah.
again, it's a pleasure just having you on to be able to share your story. But for those people that don't know, who Jeremy Saffold is, or nothing about you, just give us a brief 30, 60-second overview of who is Jeremy Saffold, the man.
Uh, I'm a God-fearing man. I'm
Yeah.
a father. Uh, I'm a hard worker. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm all of the above, man. I'm just a person who's blessed and just been able to, blessed able to live my dreams and continue to do so and still be a vessel with others. So simple, man. I'm a simple dude, man.
Hey man, I love it. You said a few as I'm still sharing the broadcast out. But you said a few like poignant words, man. You want to be a vessel, like you understand, service, you understand the importance of giving back.
Yeah.
And that's a huge word, but you also said that,
I'm sorry. I had Hold on 1 second, baby. I can't. I think I had to cut out. Somebody called me. Somebody
Okay.
said I had a call. Can you hear me?
Yep.
1 second.
Y'all got any questions for Saffold as we go through his story? Definitely type them in.
I'm
Yep.
back in.
Okay. Yep. There you go. Yeah. Your phone might start blowing up a little bit, but you know, the first thing that you said was, you know, you are a God-fearing man, you know, and I love that because you understand that that it's bigger than you, you know. And as we talked before, we came on, you know, it's all about opportunity, and you know, God equips you to be able to do the things that you can do so that you can get those opportunities. But you know, and definitely you're a father, and we'll get into that also. But you know, you mentioned the word hard worker, and I want to start here. I've always said it's a difference in being a hard worker and people that work hard. You know, oftentimes, you know, young athletes always say, you know, if I ask them, you know, hey, what can I expect from you, or what can a coach expect from you? And so many young athletes say like, oh, you know, well, I'm gonna work hard. Well, you know, to me, somebody that works hard is only gonna do that when eyes are on them. Does that make sense? As opposed to,
of course. Yeah.
you know, somebody that's a hard worker, they're going to do that regardless what they're doing. So, you know, we on later tonight instead of 6, you know, 7 o'clock, because, you know, you was helping, you know, you know, your parents, you know, with some work around the house. And so, you know, you're like, you know, hey, Bailey, can we push it back a little bit? Because again, I got some things to do. And so can you talk about like growing up in Hazel Crest, you know, and just the things that your parents instill in you that we're able to see now?
I think the way I grew up, I had, you know, a close knit bunch of friends, man. We all were kind of well versed as far as playing sports and kind of all over, and doing different things, real competitive. And those were kind of the people that I leaned on growing up. My parents were like very, very instrumental. My parents, you know what I'm saying, I was blessed to have. They always instilled hard work, you know, confidence, and they always provided positive, you know, and good examples to lead. To follow, you know, and become the lead on my own. I'm definitely blessed to have my parents for sure. So those things as a young, and me growing up is just, you just go through life. You know what I'm saying? You as a kid, you no matter how you grow up, you hear things from certain people, and you just never, certain things happen, and you just like that never happened to me. But then you just start going through life, and you start growing and experiencing different things, and you start, you know, those things that your parents or those people told you, you start hearing them ringing in your head. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you start to grow. And I think those are different things that kind of help shape you as a person. And me, going through different stuff and having different experiences and ups and downs and stuff, those are kind of, you know, now some things that kind of kick in, and some things that you know, you just want to show more than say, you
Absolutely.
know, more so provide an example for. So, you know, those are things, you know, I can kind of, I'm thankful for my parents for giving me that backbone, my sister, my aunts, you know, my whole support system. Without those people, you know, those, I don't know where I would be. So for real, that's big for
Okay.
me.
Yeah, I love it, man. You know, you said that, you know, you had a tight knit group. You know, you had a bunch of friends. You know, and I even
Still
posted.
to this day.
Yeah, and I, you know, even posted in the ad, you know, a picture that y'all took. I think at JD's crib one day. I think he had the
Yeah, no,
all
we was at
white
Cardi
party.
crib. Yeah, we was
Oh,
at Cardi.
okay,
Yeah.
yep, Cardi crib, and you know, and when I looked at the picture, I'm like, I said, man, how did
You see all the familiar faces.
I said, how did this dude get away from me, man?
Yeah.
Mike played for me in high school. I recruited JD. Cardi played for me. Chapman, Ty. You know, I was trying to get
Yeah.
Ty. You know, I'm like, man. So
It
one,
was my guys, man.
yeah,
Them
you
was
know,
my best friends.
So one, you had a tight knit circle of guys around you that you said that you can lean on, and I think that that's important because
Yeah.
everything is not always golden. You know what I'm saying? From the basketball side to the life side, everything is not always golden, and oftentimes we may not be able to talk to our parents or older people
Yeah.
about certain things. So we need to have people that's going to tell us, like our peers, that's going to tell us what we need to hear, not necessarily what we want to hear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And uh I think that's very healthy because hey, we all make mistakes, and you got to learn when you right and you got to learn when you wrong, and you can't have no yes man in your corner.
Oh, yep.
And as much as you want that, you can't have that. And I think one of my strongest friends when it comes to that is Jameer. Like Jameer is probably one of the best ones when it comes to that. Like he ain't gonna kick you when you down, but he ain't gonna tell you that this a pat on the back. So it's healthy, and that kind of that just build a strong relationship because you hear what you don't want to hear, and you make the corrections that you're supposed to make, and then you in the end you like you appreciate that, like
Absolutely. Absolutely,
so
man. Now,
that's
now the coach side coming out, already, So you said like they ain't gonna kick you when you down. And I used to go in the parents' house, and I even told Seth when I was recruiting Cardi, I said like I'm gonna hug him when he need a hug, I'm gonna kick him when he need a kick, but I'm not gonna kick him when he need a hug, and I'm not gonna hug him when he need a kick. So I
yeah.
think it's important that one, you had a tight group of friends. Kept your circle tight and small. So just to help those people out, you already know, but for the new people that's watching the show tonight, this episode, we want to help coaches, athletes, as well as parents, just understand again how basketball and life is synergistic. But with you today, I really want to focus on the student athlete. And so we're going to give them practical steps on being able to reach their goal. And so I think the first practical step is having a good circle, having good people around you, that can, because that's kind of where we're starting from, where you started from. You had some good people around you. And, you also said people that can set positive examples. We all have had the opportunity to go left or right. You know what I'm saying? We could be in the streets or, we could be basketball players, but you can't be both. And I think the young athletes need to understand that. And then you said like that you want to show people more than you tell people. You want to show more than you say.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that, man? Like, where did that come from? Because like that's a powerful quote.
That just kind of goes back to what you said about me in the beginning. It's just like I'm kind of like a silent type dude. Like I don't really talk too much. I'm not really loud. I just kind of go out there and just, take care of what I got to do with it on the off the court. I don't really, I'm the same person all the time, but I just feel as though some things is better, shown. And
Yeah.
prime example, like this situation happened to me this season. I figure we're gonna touch on that at some point. But when I got signed to this deal in Turkey, I posted about it, and everybody's like, congratulations, have safe travels. And people didn't know I was already over there for 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
before I made, before I even posted, I
Yep.
was over there working. I just had to show y'all. I ain't tell nobody I was going. I could probably count on my hand how many people
Yeah.
knew I was going, but like, I just had to do it. So, that's just how I always, just lead by example, with a lot
Absolutely.
of things. I mean, it's good to talk about it though. Don't get it, you want to speak things to existence and you want to say and do the right things, of course, for sure. But along with talking, it's a lot of action at the same time, so it kind of goes hand in hand, deliberately, and that success you're trying to get to. So kind of
Absolutely,
I
man.
always approach it.
Absolutely. So now let's move forward a little bit. You wind up going to and I tried my best. I got my tie-dye bless the ball shirt on today. That's the closest to red and white as I could get to kind of like honor like you were high school, man, but you wind up going to Homewood Flossmoor. And y'all had a pretty decent run over, the course of those 4 years. Can
Right.
can you talk about what it was like, playing at HF
Ooh.
and for Coach Condotti? And I had Chris Head on, the other day, and Chris says that like Papa Condotti is like one of his mentors. So like, and you've been part of that family.
In that
And
system.
with
Yeah.
with Coach Q and all that. Can you
Yeah,
talk
my
about,
people.
like what was it like playing at HF, especially during that time? Competition level was high because it's hard
Yeah.
to win in that building, man.
Yeah. That building was fun, man. So I was a late bloomer at HF. At HF I played on the freshman B team, and I was like coming off the bench on the B team. Um and young Kendati at that time was my coach on the B team. Old Kendati had just left. This was my freshman year. I came in 2005. Julian had just graduated in 2005. So when Julian Wright graduated, Coach Roy Kendati also left too.
Yep.
So Jim McLaughlin was the next coach up, and that was my varsity coach. So when I was on the B team, I had Coach Kendati, the young Kendati. Then I went to sophomores. I barely played on the sophomore team. Then that sophomore year, Coach McLaughlin brought me up, and then when I came up to varsity, like the springtime before we started going to like Saint Sabine and all that different mess, it was like open run stuff. So I ain't really play that much on the sophomore team. No way. I was skinny. I was like 150 soaking wet. Like I was a little guy. You know what I'm saying? But I could always shoot the ball. And I would outwork you. You know what I'm saying? Like I was, but I would outwork you, and I had something. So when I come up there, then we got, you got Kevin Dillard up there. You got Shupo Steiner. You got Russell Ellington. You got Mike Buchanan. You got some heavy hitters up there at the time. Like, and those guys had that varsity experience for that 2 years. Like Kev had been on varsity. Shoot had been on varsity. Russ had been on varsity. Like those guys were up there. So when I got, it was the game was like it was so fast. Okay. So I got up there that junior year. I came off the bench, and it was real competitive. We was number one in the state that year. We took down a lot of teams. We beat Marshall with like Ryan Hare and Darius Smith and all those guys. We beat them. They was pissed. Those were cool guys though. We beat a lot of good teams that year. And my senior year, well, we lost. No, we lost to who we lose to. We lost in the sectional final. We was number 11 in the nation. We lost to Bloom with Jamal Daniel.
Yeah.
And I think Jawan was on that team. I don't know if Jawan had graduated. Jawan was on that team. No, maybe Jawan may not have been on the team. He might have graduated, but Aaron was on that team for sure. Real One was on that team. That was a good group. Yeah, Jones. That was a good group right there. We lost to. And then my senior year, I kind of came out like, I stepped into my own. I was fully committed on basketball. I started seeing some success, seeing some rings, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm going against these dudes. I barely play AAU. Like, I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I get there, and now I'm playing good on varsity, and my name started blowing up. And playing the HF is real. Like some people say it's political, but it's really not. Like, and it's good because everybody just looks at HF as just whatever. It's
I guess you're going in and out a little bit, Jay.
It's just. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It was just good there. Like I learned a lot of lessons. It was just competitive, like any other school. It was competitive. We was put in some good situations, and we had some good talent coming in and out of there. My senior year, after that, was to touch on Kendati. Let me just say, Roy Kendati to this day, if he walk in the room, everybody kind of like stand up straight. Like he one of those type of guys. The man don't play no games. Like he it's kind of like it's a tough love. Like he love you. He
Yeah.
gonna be on your side, but it's just like a tough one. He was the one who gave me a chance when I was on that B team. He was the one that told his son like, yeah, that dude was gonna be the star of your program one day. And 4 years later, that dude was me. So being out there, being under him and being under Q taught me a lot. It's crazy. I didn't know at first when I met Q. I didn't know Q was who Q is. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? As far as his rap and being able
Yeah.
to hoop,
Yeah.
I met Q. I'm like, this dude kind of cool, man. This older
Yeah.
cat, man, he kind of cool.
Yeah.
He walk into practice, sunglasses on, got a swag on, and everything like that. And he started name dropping. I'm like, oh, we know a lot of the same people. And then
Yeah.
he started coming around. I used to be working out with the kids and stuff like that, and he'd be in there watching it. We get to chopping it up, and it was a good friendship I built with Q, man. Q was a good dude, real good dude. Kendati, real good family, older and younger. The younger Kendati, he gave me a chance to come coach on that staff, man, and without second guess, he came and let me a chance to come coach on that staff, and I learned so much under him, and I always speak highly of that whole family and Q and everybody, man. I don't got nothing but good stuff to say about
Yeah. And
them people, man. They really gave me a chance, and I really appreciate it.
yeah. And so I always talk, about Q, man, just, like Q Dillard, one, come from a basketball legacy family, but, he's
Yeah,
also part of that Kandati, Chris Head, West
yeah,
family, just, playing tough. And,
right, yeah, for sure.
he was able to, and I think a lot of people were shocked when Kandati came to Homewood Flossmoor, but then the longevity that he had and the success that he had, and now his son,
Right,
so I was telling Steve Alexander,
take the program.
absolutely, totally changed the program. I was telling
Mm-hmm.
Steve how when I was coaching at Hyde Park, I would always it was three schools I would always go to. One was Creek because I wanted them to play in the dome. The other was Thornwood because I just love the atmosphere at Thornwood, and Homewood Flossmoor, because I wanted my athletes to see the weight room, see the pool, because it wasn't necessarily like that in the city. Again, it's tough winning in that building, man. But can you talk about, because you mentioned how when you moved up, one, you was on the freshman B team, and then you didn't play a lot on the sophomore
Yeah.
team. Now, we know, and you didn't play a lot of AAU,
Nope,
but when you got the opportunity to
nope,
move up to varsity, you were
yep,
you were ready, and it helped again that you had,
yep,
if it's look Kevin, all of those guys that was able to pull you in, but you talked about how the game was much faster. So, like, the
yeah,
first question is, how come you ain't quit? It's a lot of athletes nowadays. Oh man, if just the fact if they're on the B team, they're gonna probably quit because their feelings hurt because they brag to all their friends about how good they are. Now they're on the B team, and then on the sophomore level, right before varsity, you're not playing. People coming in. Oh man, Saffold ain't. He not playing. He on the bench. Like why didn't you quit at that point? Because I think nowadays we see a lot of young athletes, they just quit and give up if they don't have it their way.
I think honestly, like the way that we were. Like, I think these kids are kind of different. Like sometimes and I'm not saying I can throw shot at nobody kids or nothing like that. I'm just
Yeah,
saying that I've seen it from a player standpoint and I've seen it from a coaching standpoint. These
right.
kids are different. Like in some aspect, there are some tough kids, but I think these kids don't understand the difference between being tough as in like strong physical rah tough versus the mental toughness aspect of
Absolutely.
like it's two totally dynamics that you're trying to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like me on the B team, like can you hear me, Bailey?
Yep.
Okay. Me on the B team, I didn't it was never it was I just felt as though it just wasn't my time yet. Like it was, I worked hard, like, and I had got when I was 7 years, shoot the crap out the ball, and that's about it. But I was long though, like I had things to build on, like you could see, and I was able to take coaching. That's a lot of things that kids don't stand. That a lot of kids don't stand the time is because they don't know how to take coaching. Like if you don't understand the difference between criticism and the difference between somebody trying to like down or belittle you, it's the difference. And if you then it's a tough two-way street. A lot of kids lose their ways with that, because like coaches ain't trying to deal with it. It's always another you. Like at the end of the day, it's always another you. If you realize it at the high school level, you're gonna realize it at the college level. If you don't realize it at the college level, you won't make it professionally. Like it won't, it's always another you. So I just always stayed, in my lane. It always worked out. It always just stayed around, and I just slowly but surely started to see myself peeking past people who talk too much and got content with what was in front of them, and I just never talked. It was just like, damn, who this just Jerry now he doing this now? Oh
Right.
man, right? And then it just kept going. But like to kids, man, it's just like you got to be able to take the good with the bad because it ain't nothing sweet about this. But I also always tell kids, like a lot of kids ask me about professionalism and being a pro level, and I want to be a pro this, and I always enjoy it. You get to that level, and this is considered what's family. Now it's a job, so now you got to take it serious. When you playing for free, and when you play for with scholarship and stuff like that, you don't understand. You understand the severity of it, depending on your situation and who you got to provide for. But a lot of kids don't realize that when you going through so much to get to that level. When you get to that level, now you got to stay at that level. Enjoy your amateurism. Enjoy working hard. Enjoy the grind. Like enjoy that, and once you enjoy it and you love it and you embrace it, you can reap from it instead of just being like, "This is what I wanted to do." Don't start at a job too soon. Let play your story, play your game,
Man,
play your
you
marathon. So that's the way
um
I think.
and I know that you in the car, so you going, I can hear you going in and out a little bit, but that's technology. We're gonna get through it. But you dropping some heavy bombs tonight, man. Kind of the same way that you shoot that thing, but you said it's always another you. That's powerful, man. Like you can almost, like that's a start and a finish. Like that's a whole sentence, a whole sermon by itself. It's always another you, especially on the basketball court. So if you're not doing those things that you needed to do to get there, once you get there, you're probably not gonna
You're not gonna
last
stay.
long. And listening to you, that sounds like one of your trade secrets. You just wait on your opportunity. And when you get that opportunity, then you go in and show and prove. I mean, does that sound about right? Can you hear me, Saffold?
Yes, like
Okay.
that's really what it is. You gotta just it's and you. I here's one thing. Yeah, hear me?
Not really.
It's one thing to show your work.
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Much better.
Um, you also gotta be knowing that you putting in the work to yourself. Like, so you putting in the work to get there. Like, it's one thing to be waiting your turn. It's one thing to be doing X, Y, and Z and that, but you got to be able to be putting that work behind it. And once you do that, things just tend to fall into place where they're supposed to.
Absolutely not. So you steady working. You hard worker. Now you get the opportunity to go to Wisconsin Parkside. That's a Division II school. Like what made you go there? Because everybody want to go Division I. Again, listening to your story. Can you talk about how easy was it for you to choose going Division II? Because and my good buddy Andre Bell, Coach Bell, that's at Tennessee Tech now, and he was on the show last week, and he was just talking how coaches at the Division I level or any level not gonna wait on you. If they get that offer and now you tiddlywinking and messing around, they're gonna snatch that offer. So like, what made you say, okay, I'm gonna choose this D2 school and I'm gonna go be the best Jeremy Saffold that I can be at this school, regardless if it's a D1 or not, because they paying for your education? Like, how did you make that decision?
Right. First of all, I'll tell you that I didn't have a lot of Division ones knocking at the door. I probably was about 160 wet. I stressed the importance of books because my books were not where they needed to be at. I had scored well in the ACT because that was probably the biggest thing I studied for in my senior year. My grades were not where they needed to be at. I could really shoot the ball. I had some potential. Like I said, it was some schools that were knocking at the door. And that's why I said there's always another you, because there's a kid that's got maybe a point higher in his GPA, maybe 10 pounds heavier than me, and can still shoot three ball the same as me. I'm gonna take that kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, really, so that's why I say, like, it's always another you. Stress the importance of books because that was a situation. So with Parkside, it wasn't a situation where I was choosing. It was some Division twos like Lewis, Northwood, like it was some Division twos in that GLIAC, GLVC region, some junior colleges. Sean Pryor, my man Pryor, he recruited me heavily.
Yeah.
It was some, but the reason I went to Parkside was because of Jameer. And Jameer, he didn't tell you the story like all last week on the show with Oscar. So this man, we was at LA Fitness one day, every Monday, LA Fitness. Like, everybody knew. You had Kendrick Morse, you had Kari, you had Key, you had Cardi, you had everybody from Rich Central, South, East. And I was like the only one coming from HF. Like, everybody like, this thing come from HF, So Jameer just was like looking at me. He's like, "Hey, where you going to school at?" And I was like, "I don't know yet." He was like, "We need to be on the same team. I'm gonna have my coach call you tonight." Coach called me that night. Coach Wolf called me that night, and they didn't think I was gonna be a D2 kid, so they really didn't recruit me that well. Jameer called me every day, every day, every day, every day, and I ended up signing to go to Parkside. And what's crazy, I played for the Bobcats. I played for Antoine Walker, Tobias Walker, for my senior season. And after we played the first scrimmage game against Wisconsin Milwaukee, when I was at Parkside, Larry Butler from the Warriors, he was there because Ryan Collazo played for the Warriors. He was there. And he said to me after the game, I played well. He was like, "You don't got to go nowhere." He said, "Well, whatever you want to get to, as long as you put that work in, you play, your time gonna show." And he told me that, and I ran with that. I ran with that, and I ran with, I get a game. Kevin Dillis, his father told me this when Kevin was a senior. I was a junior. His father just always told me, like, just play a year ahead. Like, just play a year ahead. Like, you a freshman in college, you got to play like a sophomore. You got to prepare like a sophomore. You a sophomore in college, you got to prepare like a junior. You a senior in college, you got to prepare like a pro. Like, and I just used to think those things, like, and that's what kind of just drove me. So, like, I knew that, and I would come back every year, like in the summertime. People really know me in the summertime. Sometimes I used to test stuff up even in college. I used to go out to Homer Square when Sonny Parker, he had a tournament at Homer Square every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday. And I used to go out there with all the D1 dudes. Me, Drew Crawford, John Sherner, all the Northwestern guys, all those guys from that area. A lot of West Side guys, a lot of guys, Division I guys that was in them, in those areas, and I needed it. I needed all that. I could not at that time. The toughest person in the world to me was Mike Stovall, though.
Yeah.
At that time, when he was at the ball.
Yeah.
Please.
And
please.
And during that time,
during
that time, and with the Sonny Parker tournament, if it's Homer Square, if it's the Boys and Girls Club. Like, that was invite only. Wasn't, what I'm saying? You couldn't be like, "Hey, I want this dude to play on my team."
I was with the Walkers.
if
I was
yeah,
with the A Foundation.
yeah, if like Sonny didn't approve, it didn't matter who your coach was. So that was Sonny always had a big time tournament, man. So just the fact that you were able to even play on that level with those guys, is not surprising, but it is amazing that again when the opportunity presented itself. Now we're talking about the second stage, right? Well, the third one, the second one is being mentally tough. You talked about having a tight knit circle, being mentally tough, and being prepared for that opportunity. So you wind up being like you tore the GLVC up. Was it personal every night? I mean, because you had schools like Northwood that wanted you and stuff. Like, was it personal every night? Like I'm gonna show these dudes, or what? I mean, because you
I tell you with a smile on my face, it was fun. Like that's really what it was. It was fun. Like basketball was just what it is, but it was just so fun. Like I just put work in. Like that summer, I worked out. But I didn't do a lot of like in court working out. I did a lot of playing. Like I did a lot of I was listening to Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford used to always say like he never worked out. Like he'd just go play. And that's how he prepared. Like, and that summer I just took that and I just went and I just played and everything just was. It was a couple games I took personal. Maybe Lewis University, I took that personal because they really recruited me and I ain't like how they recruited me, and I felt as though their coach had something out for me. Tro's a good dude, but on that court it was like one of those things. So that was about, but everything else was just fun. My senior year, I averaged like 19 and a half, and took our team to the tournament. I was conference player of the year, All American, All Region, all of those, all those good things. Played against some good guys like Jamar Smith that was at Illinois. He was probably one of the best players. Darius Adams. He plays in Europe now. Chris Dow, he's from Kentucky. He plays in Europe now. Like Keon Smith that went to Simeon. We played against some good guys, night in, night out. So it was Aaron Nelson was on Southern Indiana at the time. So we had some good guys. So it was just fun, man. It was fun.
Now you being modest, you definitely put up numbers, your senior year, but you averaged 50% from the field, right? You shot 50% field goal range, 2-point field goal range. I think it was like 36.8% from the three, but 50% from the field. And you played like 32, 33 minutes. Can you talk about the importance of shot selection? Because I mean, if and we know that you can shoot it, but if you shot 50% and it was like 36% from the three, though, which is still good, but you had to take good shots, not a lot of shots. So can you talk about like the importance of shot selection?
First of all, I took a lot of shots too. I used to get them up. But yeah, man, it's honestly the importance of shot selection. I think comes in when you think about your game. Like everybody got their different interpretation on it, but I just personally think like me, I got to start inside, work outside. Like if I come out and make my first three, it could either be a long game for you, or I could airball the next three. Like, but I know if I go get a dunk first, or I get a layup first, or I get some first, and then I get to stretching out, and then I know what time it is, But I think that just really getting a good feel, and I think shot selection also comes with you being patient with the game. Like you got to be patient with it. You can't really force it. And I really like study people. Like I just watch. Like I used to watch Kobe doing work all the time. Just watch Kobe and you just listen to how you playing, how you prepare. He don't rush the game. Like the game come to, I'm gonna go get like Mike. I'm gonna go get mine. I'm gonna be okay. But just what I'm saying, like I'm just don't rush the game, and that's how you get good shot selection. And just knowing you can make shots. Like I worked so hard. I just be like, any shot that I take, I know I can make. So if you get your hand in my face, I missed it because I just missed it.
Yeah.
I just missed it. Like I saw the basket, I just missed it. You know, I just think any shot I take, I can make. Like I've made it before.
Yeah.
One leg, like whatever. Like so that's I think when you realize those things, then you'll really understand the importance of shot selection
Okay.
and getting a feel in the game and knowing where you can score the ball at.
Knowing them game spots.
So, yeah, you gotta know where you're gonna score the ball at. Don't go to the gym and practice all these different moves. Go to the gym and practice what you're gonna be good at. Like that's what you work on, and then in the game it works out. Like in the game you always gonna get some type of screen, look off the screens, get to your do your thing, whatever. But you gotta know where you're scoring the ball at. Don't be outlandish here. Trying to reinvent
Yeah.
the wheel.
Yeah. I like that. Practice at what you're good at. You know what I mean? So many
Reinvent the
people,
wheel.
they want to go to the
Yeah.
gym and work on what they saw somebody else do, but that ain't part of their game.
Definitely.
And so that's big.
Nah.
But and one award that we left out, you was the NABC All District First Team. And so people that don't know the NABC,
Yeah.
that's the National Association of Basketball Coaches. So when everybody say like the Final Four, but the Final Four is presented by the NABC, right? The that's the coaching convention. So like that's a national award, So that was like amazing within itself to be able to do that. And so you wind up going to the Republic of Georgia in 2013, and then you went to Italy in 2014. Can you talk about the adjustment that you had to make? Even being a somewhat of a quiet individual, you got a close knit group of friends, but now you flying over the pond, and you kind of by yourself. I've heard, and I always say, my man Joe Chapman has always taken me to overseas school with, those are some long nights,
Joe.
by themselves.
He's a good dude right there, man.
Yeah. Chapman is an amazing dude, but I mean, those nights by yourself, those, you spend so much time by yourself. How did you adjust? Because everybody want to go pro, right? But everybody not mentally ready to deal with it. So how did you adjust to that coming out of college?
I had my first year in Georgia. I had a roommate. I was lucky because a lot of those things that you're saying are right. You know what I'm saying? I'll get to that point, but a lot of those things you're saying are right. And I had a roommate. So my roommate, he was from Jersey. Good dude, man. He went to Quinnipiac. His name was Jamie Jackson. And every day it was me, him, and it was Junior Cadogan. He played at Marquette. Junior stayed like a building not too far from us. And it was it was all three of us. It was all three because Joe. So you gotta know Junior. So so it's all three of us, and every night we me and Jamie would be at the crib. We'd be and we kind of pushed each other through. So like it would be times where he need to lean on me for things, I need to lean on him to things, but we was there together. So whatever grind and whatever trouble we was going through it together. And then Junior was there too, so it was kind of a what I'm saying, it was an easy adjustment. And we were young, we were all rookies. So and we all we're trying to get our feet wet. So we was all grinding, we was all hard working. So then my second year when I went to Italy, that was the adjustment period that kind of messed me up because people don't realize I went to Italy. I was in the second league in Italy and I got cut. I got cut maybe 3 months into. I think maybe three. Hell no, I went 3 months. It was a little bit longer than that. Maybe like halfway through the season. And I got replaced. Reggie Hamilton replaced me. He was in the league, another team, and then he came to my team. But that's when I had one roommate. He was Italian though. I ain't really talked to him that much. He was cool. A couple of Italian young guys next door, but I was really by myself. Like I was by myself. I used to have dreams, and I used to dream that I was at home driving my car, doing this, that, and the third. I wake up and I'm looking out, and I'm in a whole nother like I'm like, dang, what I'm saying? Like it was times, and then certain times when you're not playing good, then you got to be by yourself. Like that weighs a million times worse. You know what I'm saying? FaceTime is good and everything, but you can only do so much. It is a time difference. Like you got so many, you got too much time in your hands. Like you got to be a strong person mentally. You have to battle that. Like it struggle with shit. Like I mean, with stuff like that. I'm sorry, you struggle with stuff like that. And you know, some people are used to it. Some people are accustomed to it. And they can just like whatever. But it's definitely it's an adjustment. Like everybody does want to be a pro, but everybody's not a pro, and that's okay.
Mm,
But it's just a lot to go into that. Like, and even I'll admit, like I said, I got cut. Like I've been through that storm. Like I know what it's like to, not make it. So
absolutely.
it's it's tough. I will say that it's tough. And even this
Hey,
year, I had to adjust. I had Osiris with me, so that helped.
yeah, definitely. So, uh, Coach Bell, was talking about how he had you at 5 star and how you was definitely
Who
coachable.
that? That's old school. Is that old school?
Oh no, yeah. School chimed in and said that you came to the showcase too, but
Yeah.
Coach
Okay.
Andre Bell said, was talking about the 5 star, time. Now you talked
Yeah.
about being
Wow.
being being coachable. Um, how
Yeah.
much does being coachable help get to the next level?
It's like if you can't be coachable, you won't be successful because
Mm,
and that's the thing though. Like you and as a coach, as a coach and as a college player and as a professional player and as a person who has been at the bottom like and has many different stories that he's heard. I understand that a lot of people like to blame coaches. Not saying that I'm not pointing fingers, but a lot of people be like, and parents too.
yeah.
It was the coach fault. It ain't always the coach fault. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not always the coach fault. A lot of times, a lot of times, coach fault. It's different kids that you experienced and coached throughout years, and parents that you have relationships and develop relationships throughout years is not always the coach's fault. Are you? Is your child showing you two different lights? Like
Mm,
sometimes it don't always click, but
right.
um, I think that being coachable, once you master that and you able to control your behavior and you able to accept the good with the bad, then you have some success.
Okay. Definitely control your behavior. So, and I'm dropping them, in the the chat as you dropping them. The
Yeah,
practical steps.
yeah,
Practical steps needed for young athletes to reach their goals and to be successful. So now in 2015, you get cut 2014. Now 2015, you actually tear your patella.
tap my patella tendon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like how did you get through that? I mean, so many athletes, with injury, they can play, but when that injury comes up, generally the first thing that goes is the mind, because you don't know if you can get back to where you were. You don't know if the opportunity is gonna still be there, especially on the pro level. Are you still
yeah.
gonna be marketable? Because or are people gonna see you as damaged goods? So like can you talk about how your work ethic at that point switched a little bit and how did you make it through that like tough point of time in your basketball career?
I won't even say basketball career. I said a tough point in my life.
Okay.
Um, that was a tough point in my life, and I
Okay.
first and foremost, I got through it because of God. Like my faith
Yeah.
is very strong, and that was that my support system, my backbone, and out of all those things, I had all those thoughts except for one. I never had a thought of could I not do it again. Like, I
Mm,
never really had that thought. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't
yeah.
really that. It was more like, okay, I don't know why things happen for a reason, but maybe this was God's way of telling me, kids, you need to slow down. I
Mm,
need to teach you something. Or I need to
mm,
take something from you to give you. I know. I don't know to this day, but I tell you every day the same thing. That probably is what shaped me. Like that's
yeah.
probably one I never. I wouldn't wish that on my worst. But that's probably one of the things that I appreciate that downtime. Like I was able to sit, I was able to study the game, I was able to learn about myself, I was able to kind of just drain a lot of stuff, and it kind of led me to some good stuff. Like I learned how to take my time. I really learned how to prepare my body for things. I I was introduced to Mike and Gina over there at HPF, and
Yeah.
those people, they've been more than just people who helped me develop my body. They helped me train my mind. So it's been like,
Yeah.
and yeah, I can't even say that I'd be here without them. It was a lot that went into that. That was a very tough time. And it was a freak accident, and it just was like, dang,
Yeah. Yeah.
I just got cut. I just got cut. I just got cut from the second league. Uh, I come home that summer. I get hurt that summer. I got to sit out this season.
Yeah.
Following up, how do we do this? You know what I'm saying? Like how, not a question of could I do it, but just how do we do this? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you got all these, you got all these doubters. You got to, I'm at this point. I'm 25, going 26. You thinking about
Yeah.
moving on with your life? You just like no, but that all came back to my support system. Like
Yeah.
even my friends, like a lot of my friends is just they'll want it more than me. Like they just no, it's not over. They just push me. Like they'll push me. And
Those are
it
true
was dope.
friends.
It was a role. Yeah, family. Like yeah, like
Yeah.
my friends are my family. Like
Yeah.
and
And
even like Mike just said, like we family. Like
family. Yeah.
it ain't no
And
it ain't that.
I was gonna say, we got Mike and Gina on, and they both do some great work, in the south suburbs, and they business planet, in Matson, but you said that, most people, when they think of trainers, quote unquote, right, somebody that's gonna work your mind, but really at that particular time,
Yeah,
eventually your knee would heal itself if you did the right things, but
if
that
I did the right
mind
thing,
is a totally different like beast.
different.
Can you talk about, like Mike and Gina and like how they helped like just continue to encourage you and push you when you ain't want to do it, as you said, people believing that you can do it sometime when you didn't, like, can you talk about how they were instrumental in the comeback of what we know now as the problem child?
I'm only laughing because all I can say is like those people crazy. Those people are crazy. But Mike will tell you, man. Mike is Mike. I think my first session. I think then in my first session, I brought a whole issue to Mike. Man, Mike. He barely. I mean, he knew me. We had a couple conversations, but Mike ain't do nothing, man. He just was. He pulled me to the back to his office and we had a conversation and then we talked to G after that. And what made me comfortable with them is I really realized that I could bring anything to them. Like,
Mm,
like I got my big sister, I got my brother-in-law, but they're really like a big brother and sister. And I think that's why I I love them so much because it's real. Like our relationship is real. Like I know I can talk to them about nothing. They're not judgmental.
yeah,
Hell, Mike probably done went through it. So it's
yeah,
like, um, it's just that level of comfortability. You know what I'm saying? But it's
yeah,
also that fine line because it's comfortability, but it's work. Like
yeah,
Mike and Gina, they so manipulative in how they move is because they to the point where they build such a good relationship with you. If you do mess in your heart, like damn, I made them upset. Like what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
though they get in your stuff like that. But they just help. They just wouldn't let me quit. Like it's just certain
yeah,
things when you go in that gym you just cannot do. You
mm-hmm,
cannot say the word can't. You can't
yeah,
look down. No hands on your knees. No doubt. No cheat. You can't cheat yourself. You can't cheat
yeah,
yourself. You're not
yeah,
gonna cheat them for their time. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that you will have you around you, the kids, whether it be the kids or whether it be like me. I train with like T Mac, Tanisha Mac.
yeah,
I train with Jameer. I train with Ty Brazelton. I train with some true pros, and
yeah,
it would be competitive. Like, and
yeah,
it would be competitive. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? G texting you, making sure you getting in before a certain time. You got to get there X amount of time before there, and you know you ain't got to worry about Mike counting you late. You got to worry about her. She at the front. So it's like that ain't the one. Mike ain't the one you got to worry
Yeah.
about. Mike gonna do whatever the G say.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like it's the lady running it. It's
yeah,
Mike, you know, but Mike is definitely the enforcer.
yeah,
But you know, they just wouldn't let me. You know, they just spoke certain things into the air, and like I would bring to them. Mike especially like I bring up certain situations, and Mike they just ask you questions and be like, damn, hold on, what? You know, like
yep,
I'll bring something, Mike could just look at you and be like, why?
yep.
And I'll be like, you know what? I don't. That's not an excuse. I don't know why. Okay,
Hmm.
let's redo this. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So it's they do a tremendous job, man, and really it is training your body. But when you let people, the right people, train your mind, man, you start to grasp things on a different level, and it's amazing because it was a point, honestly, man, where I stopped training. Like I started getting told so much in coaching, I got away from basketball.
Yep,
I was just like, you know, I'm content with doing this, playing the leagues, fall leagues. I'm just content with it. Like
yep.
I'm, you know, doing X, Y, and Z. I'm cool, you know. But it was a point where I just felt like I kind of was losing myself and my body. I was just like, you know, I need to get back in tune with my people. And
Yep,
I called
yep,
them 6
yep.
a.m. We met Starbucks 6 a.m. and it was right back. And I think when I hit after I hit them up, after I made that decision to hit them up again to get back in the gym, that's when the world started to know.
Yeah, and you know
That's where everything started to happen.
you know, trade secrets. You know, I mean, a lot of times people don't want to get a trade
Yeah.
secrets, away. But I think to your point, right? All great coaches, great people, great teachers, if they're able
Yeah.
to build relationships with you, right? I
Yeah.
can show you that I'm concerned about you as a person. And so when you can
Mm-hmm.
build that up with certain individuals, now that
Yeah.
individual
Especially.
feel bad or don't want to let you down. You know what I'm saying? When people talk about, man, people will
At
run through a
all.
wall for you. So, the same way when I,
Yeah.
coach and
Oh
people like,
wow.
man, how are you able to get those results out of those people? And it's like, because I care about them as people. And at a certain point in time, they don't want to let
Relationship.
me down. So they're going to do everything in their power to be able to, do what needs to be done. But it's not about running the wind
Mm-hmm.
sprints. It ain't about lifting the most weight, right? It ain't about none of that. It's about how much can you endure and how strong can you be, within these
Yeah.
6 inches. And like that carries it over.
For
And
sure.
I actually remember, and if it was the right time, which I think, because your stomach was kind of big. And like the first day,
Yeah.
I think that you were back in the gym, with them.
Yeah.
And, you
Yeah.
had that workout and they, I think you or they posted it and, you was breathing hard and, tired. But again, as you said, like, that was the click. Like that was what you
You
needed,
can't.
almost like,
Yeah.
coming back home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get players be like, hey,
Yeah.
Bailey, hey, I need to get back with you because I need to get that right. And I think that's what you did with Mike and Gina. So
Yeah.
that's great. That's amazing.
It,
People reach
it's
out to, Mike and Gina. What's the name of the company? Is because I always mess the name
HPS
up.
and they
HPS. Yep.
yeah, HPS. They just good people, man. End of the day, they good people. Like Mike, you know, you go in there with a. I would recommend everybody that, man, like you trying to build like Mike the type. You go in there, you having a rough day. If he ain't gonna press you. Like that doesn't make you feel comfortable. Like he ain't gonna
Yep.
press you. If you know you having a real day and you really not gonna get through it, he gonna shut you down and be like, okay, so what's going on? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Yep.
that go back to
Yep.
coaching, and
Yep.
that's them the type of people that you need. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
So
HPS Sports. I can't think of their tag. I hope one of them is watching so they can drop their tag. I can't think of it off
yeah,
the top of
they
my
watch it.
phone,
Michael
but
Gina drop,
no, I
the
think one of them
tag
gonna
I
drop their
have,
tag.
people can get in contact with y'all, but so now, as you said, God kind of set you down for a minute, kind of like what's happening in the world now, but then you got into coaching, which expanded your mind a little bit more. The
Yeah,
same way being a referee helped me as
for
a
sure.
coach. but coaching also helped you as a player, and you get a chance to go back and work for Coach, Kandati and Coach Q,
Mm-hmm.
and now as a
Mm-hmm.
coach, what was the biggest shift that you had to make from a player to a coach? Because we know that just because players are good players don't mean that they're good coaches. But I've seen you, if it's in the fall league coaching or summer leagues, and just your attentiveness with those individuals that you were coaching. But what was the biggest shift that you had to make going from a player to a coach?
I had to scale back and understand kids.
Oh,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying? I had to
Yep.
scale back and understand kids.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. And I think that's as you build relationships, as you
Yep.
build everything like that, you gotta learn these kids. That's why what I told you earlier, I think these kids is a little bit, I know these kids. So it's like I had to learn that. And and I had to develop that relationship. Like any of these kids or parents, like they know me and see me with their kids, they know me. I'm gonna be first day. You think you're tough? Come on, let's gonna take you on this box real quick. Take you to this low block. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll check up with a kid. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They see that. They see me. They don't just hear me talking. And and you develop a relationship. And then I started looking at players' tendencies, and I started looking at X's and O's, and I started to get invested in it. And it was something that, just like basketball takes practice, is something that you're interested in. I was interested in coaching, so that helped me open my mind and just slow down a little bit. And I started coaching with YNR, started doing AAU, and I started developing a relationship with these kids, and that's it. Just every day, it just better. It just made me better. And like I said, when I was hurt, I had to scale back and I had to watch a lot of basketball. So I kind of just translated a lot of stuff into knowing the game these days as a player, as a coach, and knowing these kids, and it just clicked.
Yep. And you mentioned you were invested in the game. If it's watching the Kobe
Yeah.
or watching whatever, but so now that's the sixth practical step for young athletes watching or parents to be able to help your athlete. You can go back and because I'm jotting them all down, go back and jot them all down, like practical steps by Jeremy Saffold himself, right? And the sixth step is that you have to be invested, right? You have to be invested in the game because you can't have one foot
I
in
need
and
you to
one
write
foot
that
out.
down for me too.
Yep.
It don't work like that.
Because you can't have one foot in the game and one foot out the game. So now I want to ask you this question because I saw it on Instagram and I've never asked, even a couple years when him and Fabian came and worked out for me, and Steph was told me at that particular time, he was like, Bailey, only you and one other coach can bring out the best in me. And I was like, who? And he was like, my D-League coach. He was like Nick Nurse. And this was Nick Nurse had just got the job at the Raptors. And Steph was like, he called me a week prior to him getting the job to see how I was doing and all of that. But y'all was like on an overseas tour or something. I don't know what was going on, but you kept having to do push-ups, man. What was that about? And where was y'all at? You and Stephon had him, man. What was that all about?
All right, so what was that? It was me, Steph, and it was Ant Spencer. We had went. It was random. Steph had hit me, man, and he asked me, I want to go to Vancouver. Go to Vancouver for a 3-on-3 USA tournament. He was like, this is a way you could probably get on. Like Al McKinney had just did it the year before. And somebody else did it. He's like, this is a way you could probably get on, whatever the case is. So I did it. So we go out there, and I think we was playing a card game. I think Spence had a card game. Anthony Spencer and Steph had a card game. And every time we started adding up the push-ups. Because we had to lose and you had to do the push-ups individually after each game. We start adding them up. And then, we had to do push-ups anywhere. So if I would take a step, Steph would be like, hey, I want to push up. And then he's just like, you get out and do one. He'd call out whatever number of push-ups he wanted. You do them anyway. We was all through the airport doing
Yeah, you was
push-ups.
at
We
the
was on the
airport doing
train doing.
push-ups everywhere.
Oh my goodness, man! This dude had us. Oh, he had other people, random people playing the game. We was getting random kids doing push-ups, women. It was crazy. We was crazy at that airport. That trip was funny. Trip was funny, for sure. But yeah, that's what happened with that.
But that goes back to what you said, which I guess is really practical point number 7. Like, have fun. Like, you found a
Yeah,
way to have fun with the game of basketball. Like, can
yeah,
you break that down a little bit for the athletes or the parents? Like, because there's so many athletes now that play and they're not really having fun, and it shows because they playing
yeah,
because somebody else wants them to play. Like, they're not playing
yeah,
for somebody else. It's a difference in playing for your kids, or you want to get your mama or daddy out the hood. But when you
yeah.
playing
It's different.
because somebody, so like, can you talk about the importance of just having fun with this game?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Um, I'm happy you asked me that question because I can answer this as a two-sided question, and I could not be directly talking about anybody's parents. I think that a lot of times with the fun, with as you said, that you tell kids don't have fun. I think gotta back off, man. A lot of parents not back off. Like, you gotta be a child. You gotta be a child's parent for sure. But
Yeah.
a lot of these kids, the kids are gonna get the best out of their kids is when their kids go through it themselves. Like, they have to be able to play. They have to be able to experience what they not doing. They have to be able to have competition. They have to be able to do that. And when they do that, they'll have fun. Like, that's why I was saying the kids have to enjoy the amateur part of this, because once you it's money, now it's the money. Now it's fun for sure, but now you got stuff behind you. You got
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities. You
Mm-hmm.
have to take care of certain things. Like, when you enjoying it for its purity and you just like having fun behind it, it shows. And it's just like with any job. Like, you come on here and you do this show every week. Why? Because you have fun doing it.
Right. Yep.
If I'm gonna have fun of playing basketball, I'm gonna reach my highest potential because it's something that I want to do. I'm gonna have fun with it. It ain't because my pops ain't make it and he trying to push it, or my mama think that her son is this lady, she looking at her and her son playing over you. Nah, I gotta tell. Nah, it ain't about that.
Yep.
That's gonna make a kid not want to play, and that's gonna make
Yep.
a kid develop these bad habits and
Yep.
these bad relationships and these bad knacks towards other kids, and that ain't what it's about. Like, when
Mm-hmm.
everybody just play their role and everybody just let their kids be their kids, whether they're gonna be good or bad, just let them play. Put
Right.
them in the best training. Let them work. Let them be coachable. But it can't be a lot of that. Because it takes it away when you having fun and when you just putting your best foot forward
Yep.
and you just, like, you don't got no care. Like, you don't got them. It ain't them kids ain't out here no more till the street lights come on playing the games to 100. Like, they not out here
Yep.
no more like that. So it's different. Like, that's how you learn how to play this game the right way. But it's just like that's how you learn to have fun with it. Like, gotta have fun, man. When you smiling and having fun, that's when you look up and you done went for some numbers. So
Yeah.
it just
Yeah. Absolutely.
it's fun, man. Like, all the greats tell you, like, they gonna put the work in, but they having fun with it.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, the work becomes fun. It comes natural. Like, I used to go to Mike and them at 6 a.m. I used to hate getting up at 5. But I used to work in there, walking there, and I used to have fun.
Yeah.
I used to have fun. By 7:30, I was good. 7:30 in the morning, I was good. Hey, just waking up, I'm good.
And
You know what I'm
and
saying? It's just, you gotta have fun.
and as you're having fun, guess what? Now it don't even feel like work. You know what I'm
It
saying?
don't
Like,
feel like work.
yeah, at
I'm gonna go
all.
get stronger.
Yeah.
I'm about to go get stronger. I'm about to go
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
So
it's
now
fun.
you actually was part of some nice HF teams when you were coaching. And
Yeah,
and you know
sure.
we'll get into that because I'm gonna put you on the
Mhm.
hot seat, in a minute. But
Okay, okay, okay.
you wind up, you were always playing in the summer, as you said, but now, you kind of went through a phase where your name got real hot, real hot, and some people would say fast, but you've been taking those steps over period of time.
I've been doing this.
Been doing it,
Been
so
doing this.
you've played for
Been doing it.
and a whole lot of different leagues, played with a whole lot of different teams, for different, like, summer coaches. I'm a
Yeah.
I'm a I'm a I'm a kind of start and stop with the Trappers. Can you talk about
Trappers.
yeah, can you talk about the Trappers, man, and Coach Mike, and, like, I mean, what is it about y'all that have made y'all hard to beat for so long?
First of all, Mike G crazy. Mike G is like Birdie. That man. You know, but what's crazy is I'll tell you about this about Mike G. I hope he probably not watching. I wish he would. But Mike G gave me that confidence. Mike G was just like, "Hey, you playing out?" Because I was playing with a lot of teams on the West Side. I was on the West Side. I was
Yeah.
playing with a lot of teams. Maybe I was playing with I was playing with EP. I was playing with Javante Harris. I was playing with a lot of teams out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I was from out south. I'm like, Mike G, like, man, you from out south. He's like, you the best one from out south. Like, I don't know why you trying to team up to play with all these other West Side dudes. You need to come from out south. You the best one out here. I put my money on Saffold than anybody. He telling me, and now in my head, he right.
Yeah.
He right. We don't do this. And we linked up, and we got so hard to beat because we just had the right pieces, bro. And I knew, and I'm one of those guys that I can play with anybody. Like, I ain't
Okay.
gonna trip. I'm gonna go get what I'm gonna get. I ain't gonna trip. I can play with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So when you put those guys on that team, it makes it easy. I'll bring a different type of tone to the team.
Okay.
Like, I ain't gonna, I'll bring a different type of tone. But we gonna win. Too easy. Vise, Ty Allen,
Yep.
Chris. Well, Chris was in there. Kurt was in there.
Yep.
We had some good guys, man. We had some veteran leaders. Tone, Leo, like, we had some guys.
Now, and
we just
Tone,
win.
Tone, Leo, and Vise, man, been doing this thing, man, for a long time.
Yeah.
Can you talk about,
Man, they taught me so much.
man? Can we used to play in old Othell tournament. I had a team full of coaches, and we used to play. And Vise would actually play with us if we was short a player. Like, hey, somebody need a player. He always just wanted to play, man. Can you talk about that dude motor? Like, I mean, because and I don't know if he still got that motor, but I mean, the dude had a motor on him that, like, man, do you stop? Like, I mean, can you talk about playing with guys like that?
Vise had a motor.
Okay.
So I'll tell you. So I'm finna break down Vise to you. Vise, my boy, Trap. Vise had a motor. When I first met Vise was dunking. Vise ain't had no hair. Vise was fast. He always had them sleeves on and them tall socks. But Vise, one thing Vise always do, he can still do, he can score the ball.
Yeah.
So even though Vise motor ain't what it is now, you can't tell Vise he's not getting that last shot.
Right.
You can't tell him that.
Right.
He gonna shoot that. He gonna shoot that. And his man even gonna make it. He got that confidence. He got that swagger about it. So he may not have a motor, but he definitely still can play. And I learned a lot from Vise for sure. So just being confident, man. He always showed love. Like, he was the man on the Travelers. I came over there. Vise was like, hey, you do your thing,
Yeah.
But he know I will always find him though. Like, I always find him.
Yeah.
He always gonna be that guy. We gonna rock. Leo, same way. Leo and Tone, them two taught me how to talk crap.
Yeah.
I played against them. They used to down me, talk so much so crazy to me, and I played with them. And they talk crazy for me. So I think I got Leo one time. I got Leo bad one time because we was talking. We had just played against his team. Before I was with the travel, we played against him. And I killed him, murdered him. And he said something on Facebook. He said something back and forth, back and forth. He was like, "Yeah, Saffold, I wasn't guarding." I responded, "Well, that's your fault. You could have guarded me.
Hey,
That's your fault. I was right there
man,
the whole time. You seen what I did?"
Leo is probably one of the only dudes in the city that I didn't beat as a coach, man. When he was at East West, man, they used to beat up on us, me and Cardi and
That
them
is
so
real.
bad, man. I mean, but like, I mean, he understands the game of basketball. So I mean, y'all done, some great things. So now when you hear the name Problem Child, what does that mean to Jeremy Saffold?
Willie Harris is the first person I think of. Willie, and that's what I think about Willie because Willie used to disrespect me, boy. He used to disrespect me. He used to talk crazy. And when he seen me a ball up, he at Dunbar, he used to talk crazy. Stanford, Stafford. He wouldn't get my name right, but he wouldn't even try to get it right. Like he wouldn't even try to get it right. He like it ain't worth it. So I just started doing my thing, doing my thing, doing my thing. But when I hear that name, and he just started calling me that one time. Like I know he's like, man, this dude the problem. I'm gonna call him the problem child. And he started calling me. That. So I hear it now, and now I'm like, look to that name, and I just get in mode. If I get in mode, it's just like I don't know. But yeah, man, that's the first thing I think about. Like everybody call it, I think it's a pretty cool name. Um, but it's just me going back to having fun. Once
Well,
again, I'm going back to having fun.
it speaks for itself. I mean, it
Yeah.
like says so many different things. But now you just said like when you get in that mode, and so I'm gonna take a break for a minute. But like, so my second book, right, Creating the
Mhm.
Perfect Storm, is on just that, right? Being able to get in
Mhm.
that mode mentally, being able to visualize, being able to put yourself in the moment before you actually get in the moment. So many like the great
Yeah.
players can either manufacture that or they can feed
Yeah.
off somebody else. Like, if you say if Leo,
Right.
talking to you or whatever. So, but can you talk about when athletes say I was in the zone or I was in the mode, I call it creating the perfect storm for yourself. Can you talk about that? Like, how does that feel? Because oftentimes a lot of athletes be like, I don't know what happened. I just know that I was feeling a certain way, but like, what are some of those steps
Bro,
that like or like what's some triggers for you that helps you get in that mode to go from Jeremy Saffold to the problem child?
that's what it is. You just said. That's why I started laughing because that's what I was about to say. I'm about to say I don't know what it is, but what are some triggers? I don't. I just get comfortable, man. I
Okay.
just get comfortable. Like
Yep.
it'll be times where you make a shot, you make two shots, you make. Then you in that you like okay, now I'm not missing. This basket looks this big now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm not missing. Now I'm not missing. And then when that stuff happens to me, during that moment, all I can think about is stay calm. Like stay
Mm.
calm. I don't want
Mm.
to get too high. I
Yep.
never get too high. Never get too low.
Yep.
Just stay calm.
Yep.
Like just hoop. You know what I'm saying? You making them shots. Stay calm. I get to talking. If I get to talking, people like, I just that's me. That's me doing that to me. Like
Right.
I ain't. I'm just talking to myself. I'm talking crazy. But I'm talking to myself, and that's me. Just me being me. But at that point, you just stay calm. You keep executing. You don't move too fast. You just execute. And you black out. In a sense, you black out. And I seen the first person I seen that happen to was when I was graduating from HF. I was about to go to college to Parkside. I was going to Fosco Park. Fosco Park was
Possible.
where it
Yep.
was at that song.
Yep.
And I played against what's Paul last name? Paul. He coaches at TF North. His last name? No, not Paul. He
Paul
coaches at TF
McPherson.
North. Chicago. No, no, no. Not Paul. He coaches at TF North. Tall Paul. No, Jason Paul. Jason. Jason. He coaches at TF North. Tall Jason. He called him Chicago KD at one
Okay.
point. Um, whatever. But he he went off, man. Like I was guarding him and he missed. He made me look horrible out there. I was like 17 years old. He made me look horrible. And he told me, young fella in the locker room, he said, young fella, one thing about it is, hey, when a pro get in that mode, he don't miss.
Yeah.
Understood that. Like after he said that, it's true. Like you just work on so much stuff so many times, and you just start making shots. And you just in a mode. Like I'm in that mode.
Absolutely, absolutely, and
Back out,
yeah, and a
play that
lot of
shit.
people say that, like, blackout, just don't understand it. Now, from a coach's standpoint, right? I understand it, right? Which is why I wrote, the book. But so I'm gonna just give you a couple of chapters, right? Like
Yeah.
talk about mental training tools, or talk about goal mapping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Focus, imagery, positive thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and just having like that athletic triad, that mental triangle, what I
Yeah.
call development, performance, and your
Mm-hmm.
experience, right? As he said, as a pro, like when pros get in that mode, well, you have to have a certain level of development to be a pro. And now when you're a pro, you also have
Mm-hmm.
a certain experience that you can go back to. You know what I'm saying? Like any of your best games, you can kind of go back and play that over in your head and kind of know some of the
Yeah.
things, as you said earlier. If I get a dunk or a good layup out the gate, is going to be a
Right.
long night. You know what I'm saying? But so the way that I put it is development, performance, as well as experience. And when you can like manufacture those in the proper way, then it definitely helps
Mm-hmm.
out. So
That's
now,
dangerous.
yeah, you really become dangerous by being able to do that. So now you finally get the opportunity that you've been looking for, and as you said, you was gone for a couple weeks prior to making that,
Mm-hmm.
announcement. Um, go over to Istanbul, and you make a post, and everybody is congratulating you. I kind of, we kind of talk, on our own a little bit. You're
Yeah.
like, man, Bailey, I didn't even know that you was paying attention,
You
but
knew
like,
me.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
but like,
I
uh,
definitely know. I definitely know my history.
yeah, yeah. But so, like, how rewarding was that? 'Cause you talk about the meeting at Starbucks with Mike and Gina. You talk about putting in that work. Talk about the summer. Going back through getting the knee right. When you signed that contract, and you took the picture signing that contract, how rewarding was that? Like, how did that make you feel at that point?
I ain't did nothing.
Okay, okay,
Like not in the sense I ain't did nothing, but in the sense of like, okay, now it's work. So now you here. So now you work for what you got. So now you got to work.
yep, yep,
You enjoy it. Like I knew I made it. You enjoy it. You get emotional. I've overcome so much.
right,
Enjoy it. Time to work. Cause you would be gone as fast as you got there. And I
right.
know that. I've been there. So
Been there.
like stay even kill. Like now we gotta work.
Yep,
You know
yep,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
love it. And I mean, as you said, based on past experiences, and as you said earlier, people get to that level and they get comfortable. So kind of, your mindset, if I'm correct, after you was able to enjoy the moment, now it's time to
Yeah.
work.
Well, yeah, but I went out there on a tryout. I went out there on a tryout with Osiris.
Yep.
I packed 2 bags. I knew I wasn't coming back home. I
Mm,
said to myself, like, I'm like, I told myself, I can't come back home. I'm not
yep.
coming back to this situation. I got a 5 day leave of absence from HF. I'm like, I ain't coming back home. And I packed in 2 bags. And, uh, now we back home because of Corona. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew I wouldn't come home. I ain't had no intention to come back home.
Hey,
No
now
intention, really.
that's huge. You when we first started the
I looked at
interview,
it like they let me get my foot back in the door.
it's over. It's over. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, to pack 2 bags, man, I think that's phenomenal. Like, okay, I'm here. I got this opportunity. Y'all done messed up by giving me this opportunity. And,
All I need is a couch. Let me get a couch until I get into my career. Let me make this team. Let me get a couch. I'm good.
working, baby, working. Now, I don't know if you know it or not, right? So I only went to one Matson Pro-Am game. And, and I don't get out a lot and do all the pro-ams, and I watch and I kind of know what's going on, but I come out when I say need to come out. And a lot of those times when I'm coming out supporting some of my former players, some of my hoop sons, with West Haven, if it's a big game, I'm gonna come out. If I got some of my guys playing, but if it's Willie tournament, I'm gonna come out if I got some of my guys playing. But I went to the Matson tournament, to the playoffs, and Fabian and Malcolm, they both played for me at Hyde Park. They were playing, and so I wanted to come out and support them because it was, the second year of the Pro-Am, and y'all was playing. I don't know if y'all was playing Fabian and them that night and Malcolm, or if y'all played like after that. But Osiris Eldridge
that night.
Huh?
That was a long night that night. If we were playing Shankin, and that was a long night for them boys.
So that particular night, Osiris Eldridge came in the gym. Now, from, when O was back in, high school playing for Coach Parham and all that, we used to battle with him at Hyde Park. So O came in the gym. And now, people don't know, like, O played with the team in the $1 million tournament and all that, like, doing good work. O came in and I'm watching, you said that, you know your history, you knew who I was. You didn't know if I knew who you was. O came in, and I see people, moving out the way. He's saying, excuse me. And they go sit at the top of those bleachers in Matson. And he just watched the game. And like, you had a great game that night. You wound up being the MVP of the Matson Pro-Am tournament. Everybody said, like, last year they said Malcolm was the best in the city. This summer they were saying Saffold was the best in the city. But it didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me when I saw you and Osiris playing on the same team. Players recruit players, right? And it ain't
mastermind, right?
Mastermind. It ain't about playing with your friends, right? But as you say, Jameer wanted to play with you, right? And I think that night Osiris saw something in you the same way that Jamil saw at LA Fitness. Like, I need that team. Like, I need him on my team. So can you talk about how that conversation went? Like O hit you up and was like, I got a spot for you, or what? Like, how does that happen?
Was I going to say something else before that? No. So came there to see Vance Cook.
Yeah.
Vance and O real close.
Okay.
Vance and me and Vance real close.
Okay.
So Vance went to go see O. I'm sorry, vice versa. O came to see Vance play. And I knew O. I didn't know him like we know each other now, but I knew O. And he just was like, he saw me play, and he said something to Vance. He said something to me. He said something to Vance. Like, yeah, man, he ain't playing no. At the end of the day, O just a real good person.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Just a real good person. He's like, he ain't playing no well. Well, he been with the team in Turkey for a couple of years. I could probably get him a tryout.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I could see what I could do. Let him know. Vance tells me that this is about to happen. I don't think he's for real. I go my day-to-day business. The day after my birthday, O hit me with a text on September 4th, and he told me there was a possibility that I could go. And told me about the team, told me about the makeup, told me everything about the situation, told me I could stay at his crib until I make the team, get on my feet. I'm good. September 11th, I landed in Turkey. Got up and left. Like, got the flight. And I got up and left.
That's huge. Okay, yeah. So like,
can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now. So O reached out. So now, because you were prepared for the opportunity,
Mhm. I'm
You
sorry, I was
was
talking
you
about
was
something.
you was doing work, and now somebody came to see somebody else. Let's stop there for a minute and like put your coach's cap on for a second, because so many athletes, and our boy Cardi just popped on, but like it was kind of the same way, with him a little bit. What young athletes need to understand, and if you can speak to that point, when coaches come in, they may not be coming in to look at you, but if you're doing the right thing,
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot of people that get opportunities because a coach coming in or somebody's coming in looking at or for somebody else, and somebody else gets that opportunity. Like, can you talk about that?
That happened to me. That happened to me. So my last high school game, I played against Marion Catholic, and I scored 38 points. I hit 9 threes. And Lewis University offered me that day. And then, but Brian Johnson, who was the point guard at Marion at the time, he was a senior point guard as I was a senior, and he sent that game. He had a good game. They beat us. He had a good game. He had maybe like 25, 26 points, something like that. And he sent that to Howard University as their tape, as his recruiting tape. Howard called me. They got mine, so they called me. Like, and it was like they, it was crazy. Like, I ended up not going there, of course, but like they called me, like
Right.
off, and they told me that. So they was like, we got your in the film that was sent to us. Like, I was like, oh my god. But yeah, that type of stuff. That type of stuff is crazy. But yeah, bro, you gotta always make sure you're embracing opportunities. That's all. That's all was real big with me. Making sure you're just embracing opportunities that come your way. Um, and you're ready. You're prepared.
Yep. You definitely got to embrace the opportunities, because opportunities, right? It's a quote that says opportunities are often disguised as work. And people may not want to do the work on the front end,
Yeah, that's nice.
but those opportunities will always present themselves. We may think, oh, Georgetown didn't call, I didn't get the opportunity, right? Like, but Howard called. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't miss the opportunity
Yeah,
looking too far out, and
yeah,
so I think that that's a big point that young athletes and coaches can employ on their athletes. Young parents can help their athletes and understand too. So as we get ready to close, man, because I know that you was about to in the process of
yeah,
getting some things done. I do want to ask you this question: having your son,
yeah. You good?
how did that
Mm.
impact your mindset about, like, I have to do this?
Uh, I had to learn how to deal with it first.
Okay.
That was my thing. I had to learn how to deal with it. Like, I was 19 when he was born. So that sophomore year, my sophomore year of college, that was probably the worst season I'd ever had.
Mm,
Like, I was stressing out about it. I didn't know, and what am I supposed to do with college? I got to take care of him. Like, what am I? I didn't know. I was young, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really know at the time, and I suffered from it. That was another mental hurdle. But once I settled in with it, and once I just relaxed, I started realizing that I had to do it. Like,
yeah.
I'm putting this work in, I'm doing all this other stuff. I fell in love with the work, and then he didn't do nothing but gave me another incentive to go harder, because
Yeah.
you got to set an example. Like, that's
Yeah.
another thing, you got to set an example. As I spoke earlier to the point of my parents, the cycle doesn't stop. I
Absolutely.
gotta be that example to him. So he didn't do nothing but just add another battery to my back.
Mm,
And he understands. Like, it's kind of like a blessing in disguise, because I think that when I was hurt, I was here, and then those other 3 years I was coaching, I was here, and I was in
Yeah.
America, and I was with him, and I kind of, was with him through his growing up, and then me having this deal. I was gone this year, but I spent I spent a good amount of time with him, and he understood a lot. And so he's good. He's good. He's the biggest blessing, man. He taught me how to be me and understand. Once you have kids, man, as y'all know, life is not about you anymore. So,
Absolutely.
um, you every step you take got to be every move you make got to be the right one, or a better one.
Absolutely. Right. Yep. Yep.
So,
And
yeah,
as my mama, chiming in, I got my mom on the, live feed as well.
it
Let me
is,
ask
man.
you this question, man. And you said that we can talk about anything. And I didn't even know that I was gonna ask this question, but um, you having a tight knit circle, and you talked about your guys, and people know Jeremy Saffold, they know the problem child. Can you talk about how often or how much do you, and I'm trying to get my thoughts together because I want to phrase this right. How much do you carry your one of your best friends that passed away? How much do you carry
Mm-hmm.
him with you when you lace them shoes
Ooh,
up?
that's a good question. How did you know that? But
I just
that's a good
told you, man.
question.
I know the whole circle, man. You was the only dude that didn't play for me.
Yeah, that's tough. My best friend that passed. My best friend that passed. He was my confidant. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he wasn't a friend. He was a brother. I recently just got a tattoo on my leg that he
Okay.
had on his leg.
Okay.
It said relentless. It said relentless.
Mm.
So that describes me, and that's. But he's a battery in my back because even years ago when I was cool, just being content, hooping and killing in the programs, so he's like, man, you gonna make it to the league. Like he was always that one. Like I bet my money on him. I bet my money on Jimmy.
Yeah.
I bet my money on this. Yeah, ain't nobody beating you. Ain't nobody beat my homie. Like it was just always that. He was like, man, he would tell me like, you can coach when you 40. Go to the league. Like he was just always like, like what I'm saying, like that's cool. You doing good, but bro, you killing these dude. Man, go to
Yeah.
the league. Like what I'm saying. Once I got that, um, it was that I just felt that was him. Like that was
Yeah.
God giving me my blessing. That was him. Like, all right, dude, I'm gonna throw you this boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come take this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, like yeah, that was a real tough point. That was a real tough point. And I'll forever carry that on for him because that's exactly how. Right, Cardi? Yeah, that's exactly how he was. That was exactly how he was. Exactly how he was. He had the utmost confidence in me, and I carry him on the court every day, for sure.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't even know that. Like, I mean, it just popped in my head, like, and I mean, we talk about
Yeah,
playing for
it's tough.
somebody other than us, having a bigger reason for why we do what we do, and
Yeah,
if I can add to the Sappho's 8 right now, key points, but like you have to have something bigger than you that's pushing you. You know what I mean? Because as you say, you go work out with Mike and Gina. Some days, if you just not in it, right? Okay, well let's simmer down. Let's figure out what's going on.
yeah,
But
I know it.
when you understand, okay, it's something bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? So, and if it's for my son, for my parents, for my best friend, like, but you have to have
Mm-hmm.
some sort of inner motivation that you can always reach back on and pull it. So yeah, I just wanted to ask you that, and I appreciate you, being honest and open and willing to even talk about that because I know that you still, you and Cardi and all them still
I
carrying with
mean,
y'all.
we deal with it, but that's not the type of person he was. So that's why
Yep.
we never. That's why we never. We have our moments, but that's why we never speak not ill, but in vain or
Yep.
upsetting or in that necessary tone. We always speak uplifting
Yep.
and positivity toward him
Yep.
because that's the type of person he was. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
he had never want us to be sitting here boo-hooing like he'd be wanting
Yeah.
us to
Okay.
be living our life and
Yep.
so
Okay. Okay. I
that's
got
where
it.
we're
I
at.
got it. Now, will we see Coach Saffold back on the bench at some point in time?
Ooh, Lord willing, not for another 6, 7 years.
Okay. Okay.
I could drag this out. I give
But
it
after it's all,
for
but
you
after it's
know,
all said and done, after the gym shoes is hung up from a professional standpoint, I
okay.
mean, do you still have aspirations like of having your own team and being a head coach?
I don't know. Like I would be a head coach. I'm more so into. I think I'm more so into. I coach. I don't mind coaching, but I'm more so into passing the knowledge. Like I'm more
Yeah.
so to giving back that way. Like
Yeah.
I don't like coaching is cool, but it's a commitment. Like at the same time, like by the time I get done hooping, I'm probably gonna be wanting to chill. Like you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like I'll probably want to be at the games and stuff like that, but I probably don't want to be too tired with it. I might be, but who's to say? Like
Right.
I still either way it go, I still want to be somebody that's reachable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody that
Yeah.
you can talk to, like somebody. Like I definitely want to always be that. Like I never turn my back on no kids. But I don't know how I'm gonna coach. I don't know. We'll see. Like
Okay.
if
Yeah.
if the right opportunity came along, I could get the right staff. It got to be the right one.
Right. Yeah. All
We'll see.
jobs not good jobs, and so you got to understand. But as you said, and
Yeah,
this is why
you
I
gotta
love.
deal with a lot of different stuff.
Right. And that's why I love doing what I do now, because I help parents of both under recruited and unrecruited student athletes like save money on college by helping
Yeah.
them find the right school. So many people go to the wrong school, or
Mhm.
we talked about all those reasons, but I love it because I can educate, which is why I wrote,
Right. Yeah.
both books. But if I come to a game or the same way, when you first went back over the pond, if I can type a word of encouragement and something basketball related that can help you both in basketball
Yeah.
and life, now I felt like that I've done my civic duty
You did
from
your job.
a basketball standpoint, and I think
Yeah.
athletes need to understand it's so much that you can do with this game that we love, even if you're not
Right.
playing or coaching.
Yeah. You ain't scratch the surface. You know what I'm saying? Like it's small things that I just told you that was told to me 10, 12 years ago. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
it's stuff you just don't forget. Like it's certain stuff you don't forget. It's certain people you don't forget. It's certain relationships that you just don't necessarily forget.
Yep.
And once you become one of those people, then you become like a person that you did your due diligence. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like it make you feel good at the end of the day. Me, at least me personally, like I like helping people because I was helped along the way. So
Yeah.
you know
Give
that's
back
just all it's
because
about.
others gave back to you. So
Yeah,
as
yeah, for sure.
Brandon, Brandon Moore just said, like, you can come talk, to his,
That's what boy Beamer. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
you come
No,
talk
I'm
to
at home,
his
man.
players, yeah, whenever you want, and like, and this is the importance of the show. So like, we've talked about like Mike and Gina business, we
Yeah.
sharing your story, like a lot of people don't, and I ain't tooting my own horn, but I will.
Mhm.
Like the
Yeah.
the the purpose of this show is to help. We talked about serve. The first thing that you said, you were child of God, and a father, a hard worker, but you're a vessel. Like we have to understand that we're vessels to be able to help out each other. Because if we don't help out each other, like what are we doing it for? Because if I can help Jeremy Saffold, and that Jeremy Saffold can go help 100 other people, well, in my own way, I'm connected to helping those 100 people. Like if we want to help push the culture, push the youth forward, we can't just do it by ourselves. And so we have to stop being so selfish and like I only want to do it. So like I mean that's my 2 cents of it. And I mean you and I talked about it, but the whole importance is to use my platform so that other people can know. And I mean, man, I got so much wisdom from you, and a whole different respect. Cause like you an old soul, Jay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like
I'll be moving cool, man. Like it take a village. Like I had a little bit of everything invested in me, man. I had a little bit of everything invested in me. Everything that I've gone through was supposed to happen. Apparently, to help shape me. So
yeah,
you want to lay back, chill, and just give it out.
Absolutely, man.
I rock. And half the people out of here probably wouldn't know me like this if it didn't come to coaching. To be honest with you, like the South Suburb, like all that, they knew me as a player, but a lot of you didn't know the coaches. So like a lot of people didn't see that Jimmy relationship aside of me, like that cool side of me, like they just always saw me on the court. So I think that's important too. So it all works hand in hand.
Absolutely, yeah. B, I would love to, man. Let me know. And the world we living in.
That's my auntie.
Now.
that's my auntie
no, Kathy, yeah. No, but I was, B, let me know. The world that we live in. Obviously, at this point, we can hop on a Zoom call or something to still be able to pour into, because so many athletes right now. And this is the last question I'm gonna ask before I put you in a hot seat.
Okay.
What can athletes do right now? And I want to hear from you that they can't go to the gym. Everybody don't, or it's not safe to go to the gym. Everybody don't have a court in their front yard, in their backyard. Like, what can athletes do to still improve themselves as a basketball player during times where they necessarily can't get to the gym?
Other than like doing your push-ups, sit-ups, and all this other stuff, this is something I used to do religiously, like every day. I used to just lay on my back and just get a tennis ball. I had a tennis ball. I used to lay on my back and just shoot the tennis ball in the air, like a million times in the air, a million times. Just shoot it in the air. And you get a tennis ball and you get a bigger ball, and it's just like, look at my hands. Like it just becomes natural. You know what I'm saying? I used to do that all the time.
Baby. Muscle memory.
I do that all the time, man. You get on the step, you get on the step. You a kid, you get to try anything. You get the step like, oh, this feels different. Just toe raises on the step, like you never know. Like you could do whatever, man. Just stay engaged more than anything. Stay engaged. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're trying to get to something, you just gotta stay engaged, man.
Yeah, that's
like it don't take a lot. It don't take a lot to get big results. We all know that. It don't take a lot to get big results. You just gotta figure it out.
Hey, now that's another heavy quote. It don't take a lot to get big results. And you mentioned it earlier. Be deliberate, right? Be deliberate, be intentional. If it's that tennis ball or basketball, the muscle memory. I used to have Cartier in them at times, like shoot free throws in the dark. Like I ain't cutting the lights on in the gym on. Like, what you mean? We shooting free throws today. Like, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? They be like, man, this dude nuts. But no, or we gonna practice without a basketball. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go through routine, or we gonna run plays without a ball. Somebody, oh man, you bricked that shot. How can you tell? Because of the emotions or the muscle memory. So
I can only picture Cardi out there.
Look at man, like hey, he'll tell you, man, the day that he came in the gym one day, and I, like every day at some point in time, every different player will have a day. and like my dad had a 40-pound weight vest that he gave to me, and we came in the gym one day at Truman, and I threw the weight vest down in front of Cardi, and I said, "I'm gonna make you quit today." And you know how Cardi looked. Cardi looked at that vest. You know, he only about 110. Cardi looked at that vest and looked at me and looked back at the
He
vest and
probably
was
looked at you like you was crazy.
hey, he was like, okay, man, Cardi put that vest on, man, man. But like I asked you about the freshman B team or the
He's
sophomore
hilarious,
year,
man.
but he didn't fold. Like I couldn't make that dude quit. And I knew at that point in time that he was special. You know what I'm saying?
He don't know what it means. He don't know what that means.
No, Cardi talking about it was 100 pounds. It was a 40-pound vest, man. But I dropped it in front of him, Saffold, that I'm gonna make you quit today because at that point I knew if this dude is gonna be in my foxhole, right? I have to be able to depend on him. And you know, I mean, gotta be able to trust him, and he has to be able to trust me too. And so, like you were saying, with Mike and Gina, halfway through that practice, me and him had to go out the back door at Truman, like towards the alley, and I had to let him know, like, I had to give him the answers to the test, right? Like, I'm doing this because I need you to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Nobody thought that you would be here.
Right.
Now that we're here, let's take it to the whole nother level. And for the people that don't know, Cartier went on to tour the world as a globetrotter.
Cardi got so much better messing with you, dude. He used to always say, "Bailey this, my coach Bailey this, Bailey crazy, Bailey this, Bailey all the time." I'm like, who is Bailey? Who is this dude? And then I finally figured out who he was. But Cardi got a lot better. Like Jameer said that too.
Yeah.
And I attested to that. Like that, he got very good, very fast.
And I mean, but it goes back to what you were saying with Mike and
that boy
Gina.
wasn't missing, huh?
Yeah, but it goes back to what you were saying with Mike and Gina, right? Caring about him as a person, and he knew I cared about him, but we built this up. He was a dude, because I talk about, man, he got pads on his ribs, he got pads on his thighs, pads, man. I'd say don't buy that dude no more protection, man. Just let that dude play, man. Like warrior. But it goes back to where if it's B. Chapman, if it's Cartier, if it's Jameer, if it's Mike, if it's Ty, like all of y'all, understood hard work. Does that make sense? So everything goes back.
Yeah. It's competition to us. It's competition to us.
Yeah. So now
we still
hit it, man. And so now, again, I definitely appreciate the time. But before I let you go, man, I gotta put you on the hot seat. And so, the hot seat is where I ask you about 3 or 4 random questions, and just to get you to think. And it's called the hot seat because you may not want to answer the questions publicly because somebody might be like, man, you said that or said him or her. How come you ain't named me? So the first question that I'm gonna ask you, Saffold, is who is the best player that you've ever played against?
The best player I've ever played against. Damn. Who's the best player I ever played against?
Like complete problem. Like complete problem.
I'm trying to think of, is it in Chicago? Is it out of Chicago?
It don't matter.
I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
I said Two Holloway. Two Holloway may have been the best player I've played against.
Oh, okay. Why?
to Holloway a bucket, man. Like he's just a bucket, and he like I went to New York this past time. We played in the tournament for some money. We won, and two just was like he a bigger guard. He just in your face, but he not like too loud. He just in your face. It's like you thought that bucket was cool. You do that again. And he do it again. And I knew he was a bad dude when he made a move. He made a move on baseline, and somebody fouled him. He was dribbling the ball baseline. Somebody fouled him. He stopped, dropped the ball, looked at the dude on my team. He said, "Hey man, you ain't gotta foul me. I know I got moves." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Oh, okay." Yes, he went for 40. I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." But yeah, two probably the best player I played against.
Okay. Carrying that confidence. You gotta have that confidence,
Yeah,
man.
I don't know. Yeah, two probably the best.
Okay, now the next question is, um, what's the best pro-am in Chicago right now?
Somebody just said plead the fifth.
My
Somebody just
my
said
my
that.
my, my, my That's small girls. Talking about can't plead the fifth. Can't plead the fifth. And
don't
yo,
they?
I think about next question. No.
There's somebody. Don't they always say your mama knows best?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Like
And,
I
I
first
mean,
of all,
they all are great. They
yeah,
all
they
are
all are
great.
great,
All
man. But I'm gonna go. First of all, I just say all programs are great. Everybody that's EP, Willie, Reggie at the Lace 'em Up League. They got the Marquette Park. Every league, Big Mike
Big
League,
league. You
like
got Lefty.
every.
You got West Haven. You got the Matson Pro
Oh
Am.
man, Matt, every league is amazing. I earn my stripes at West Haven. I say that I earn a lot of my pub messing with Willie, for sure. And I say Max and Pro Am been going on for 5, 6 years consistently. People ain't really been knowing 5, 6 years consistently, and it's still getting stronger every year. And I had to say Max and Pro Am the best Pro Am. Not even because I'm from the Birds. I just seen the progression, and I've seen the consistency within Alex. It's been at one spot. It's been the same people. It's been a great turnout every year, and it's been safe. It ain't been no issues. It's just been good basketball. So I say Madison for sure. I think that's what everybody's trying to get to now. Like everybody from
Yes.
the city trying to come out to the
Yeah.
burbs. Like everybody don't want to come to the y'all want to talk stuff about the burbs. I want to come out here.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Crazy. So I think that's dope.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
um, out of all your guys, and I'm a do it to you. Out of all your guys, you can only play with one. Who you gonna pick and why?
Uh, that might be a plead the fifth. Um, that might be one of those. Out of
Why
all
it's
my
called the hot
guys,
seat.
dog,
And I gave you an
that's
out.
tough.
Why? Right? Because all their games is a little bit different.
Right.
You can only play with one tomorrow. Why? Who would you pick and why?
Um, I hate I he
They can all play. For the ones that's
they
listening,
can all
trust
play.
me. Either they
I would go
played for me or
extended
I
to
recruited them all. So they can all play.
um I gotta go with Javier, man. I gotta go with Javier.
Why?
And he know it. He know it.
Why?
Cause man, that dude. First of all, his confidence is out of the roof, and he's just tough. And I just because Jameer gonna guard anybody. Like he gonna guard. He know he can't guard me, but he gonna guard anybody. He gonna guard anybody. He just gonna be tough. Like and Jameer's like and And I don't feel like playing against him and hearing his mouth. So
Yeah, because
no,
he gonna talk all
like
day, man. Okay, now
oh my god.
best shooter that you've seen with your own eyes.
We talking about Chicago or period?
All over the world. Best shooter that you've seen with your own eyes.
That's true. I see my own two eyes. Um, nah, Rob probably. I've seen Rob shoot the ball. Who is a knockdown shooter that just does not miss? Um,
Okay, see, I was trying not to go
man,
here,
that is a tough
but
question. That is a
out of
very
your
tough
guys,
question. That's a very tough question. I see some shooters and stuff.
okay.
Hey,
So out of your guys, other than you, because you
Cart,
can't say you, who's the best shooter?
nah, Cardi might be a better shooter than me. I ain't gonna lie. Like he ain't. I've never told him that. I ain't never told him that. But he might be a better shooter than me. Because when that boy was shooting, even like he was shooting high school for sure, high school class. But when he started shooting them club trotters, it's a look. Check it out. This is why. Because there's a difference between getting paid to hoop. Like I get paid to score the ball and play defense and do it. He got paid more so on an even tighter space, like even less wiggle room. You get paid to make fast pointers. Like this is what you get paid to do. You don't get paid to do all that other stuff. You get paid to do this. And he knocking them down.
Hey
I'm like,
man,
oh
he
man. It was one
when
time he's small too, and he get that shot up.
when when
Come
when
on, man.
when Cardi first came back, man, and he like, Bailey, man, I need a workout, and because he was kind of, because it was a switch too. Now he was an entertainer, right? Still basketball, but and he
Yeah.
like, so we going through our normal shot, routine. He was like, no, man, I don't need to work on that. And it go back to one of your points, right? Know what you good at. And Carter's
He
like,
told you
no,
that.
I don't need to work on that. And I'm like, what you talking about? He's like, man, I need to work on shooting from here. I'm like, the hash mark? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, like,
He
this
know
what
what he
they pay
gotta
me.
do.
Yeah. He like, this is what they pay me for. Like, I got to
Yeah.
be able to make this shot consistently, and by the end of the workout, okay, now I got it. He gave me the information. Now let's switch it. And by the end of the workout, I probably post a picture, but he was laid out. Like, I mean, it was a
Yeah.
but again, knowing what you are
Can
good at,
do. Maybe that's what you.
knowing your craft, knowing what you're getting paid to do. In the same way with a scholarship. If a coach gonna offer an athlete a scholarship, they're recruiting you for one or two reasons, right? Like
Yeah.
coaches
To do
are
it.
recruiting players to be everything. They
Nope.
want you to be, if you're a scorer, if you're a defender, so you got to be able to work on your craft, man. So I think that's big, man. Before we go, I definitely want to say, because I just dropped the link. Again, if y'all love the show, right, you'll definitely love this bundle, right? So this is my baby. This is the first book, Understanding Life Through the Game of Basketball. Everything that we basically talked about tonight, small principles that has helped so many individuals not only learn the game of basketball, but we use those same principles to help grow and develop people throughout life. And then the second book, when talking about getting in the zone, right? What are some things that athletes can do to prepare themselves mentally to be able to get in the zone? But not only, basketball players, just athletes, students also, right? So, you got both of these books in the bundle, as well as the first two seasons. And I think that I'm about to up the ante and put the first drop another season. But the first three seasons of this show, we're on season 4 now. So, you get them all in the bundle, and I just dropped the link with that. And then also, if you got an unrecruited or under-recruited student athlete, and as a parent, and you want to find the right school for them, I did like a 30-minute case study, Saffold, where I talked about a lot of things that parents don't understand. A lot of parents don't really know the success. So unfortunately, they put their kids in the hands of other people. And we both know some of those other people may not have the best interest in your
Right.
kid. They just concerned
Well,
about
yeah.
themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
parents definitely got to be educated, So I definitely drop, the link to the case study and there, James Spencer, another dude. I tried to get him to come
Yeah.
with me, man.
Yeah.
That dude came out the gym, man, and got it. Well, had it. I don't know if Jay still got it, but had it. So Saffold, man, in pardon, and I definitely
Mm-hmm.
appreciate all the time, that you've spent,
No problem,
even
man. Thank you.
outside trying to, make it happen and get it done because the sound was
Oh,
breaking
you
up a little
good?
bit. Can you give us some parting words, man? And I got Sappho's 9, on these parting words, I'm going to pull out one more practical step so we can have Sappho's 10,
Right,
from this.
right.
But can you give us some parting words on, what can young athletes do to help put themselves in a better position athletically as well as personally?
Uh, athletically, just always work. Know what you do well. Know what you do well. Build on it. Know what your tendencies that you don't do well are. Build on those because I was always taught when you playing a game, like you gotta have one thing that you do great, but everything else got to be good. You know what I'm saying? So like when you that makes you more of a well-rounded, balanced, like person, player. I'm sorry, player, athlete. So um, I would say work on your, of course, your tendencies and you doing well, but also your deficiencies. While you working. Not saying that you go out there and you just spend 3 hours doing unnecessary stuff, but while you tweaking on what you got to do right, you gotta touch on that other stuff too. So that personally, like I said, it all goes back to being coachable. It
Mm,
goes to being coachable, being a good locker room guy, being a good teammate, like being somebody that somebody um wants to have around. Be personable. Like you have to be that in order to be successful, because that's how people want to help you. Like
absolutely.
when you, my mom always tells me, like to this day, she tells me it's always nice to be nice. Like you gotta be nice to people.
Oh,
You gotta treat people the right way, and the things that's supposed to happen is gonna happen. So, I think that personally those are some key pointers to kids, like and just more than anything, be humble. Like don't be, what I'm saying, always humble yourself, because life gonna do it for you if you don't do it. So you gotta humble yourself. And yeah, other than that,
hey, man,
that'll
mama
be
got
it.
some wisdom on her, man. It's nice to be nice,
For
man. I
sure.
mean, so many
It's
people
always
are,
nice to be
and
nice.
I think that speaks to who you are. I mean, just the way you carry
Yeah.
yourself, like, and it ain't saying be nice the way you get taken advantage of, but it's so many people out,
Nah.
it's so many people that's out here that's angry. You know what I'm saying? Just angry for no reason, and just
Mhm.
aren't personable. But as my mama used to say, you get more bees with honey than vinegar. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
swear. I
so
swear.
it's nice to be
You
nice,
be
man.
nice, they attract.
Yep,
Yeah, for
yep,
sure.
yep. So I love that quote. And then, be coachable, be a good teammate, and be personable, man. I think, so we got, the Sappho's dozen, man. We got 12 practical points, right? You can go back and watch it, share this episode out. Again, the title of the episode is Press On. And you can see by this, young man's story, he's pressed on, but he's had a solid foundation from his family, from his friends, from those around him. And I think that, you closed it out great, man, with, words from your mom, man. It's nice to be nice, and I think that has paved the way for all the good things that God has poured into you and all the opportunities that he's given you to be that vessel, as you first stated. You
Right.
know, so yeah, man. You know, again, Jay, I definitely appreciate it, man. You know, you stay safe. You know, you and the family stay safe during this time. You know, I know
You too.
y'all just threw a whole lot of stuff out. So y'all, you know, cleaning up and making the most of your time, which is good. Like everybody need to make the most of their time. That's why we come on right now, Monday through Friday this season, to make, you know, the most of our time and to be productive during that time. So, you know, again, I, you know, definitely want to say thank you. Thank everybody for tuning in. And in closing, as I always say, you know, in closing, no, you very welcome, man. You know, you earned it. All right. Let me I bring people on this show that I definitely respect, not only them, but their story. And you know, like I said, when I hit you, like I hit you and said, I want you on the show. This is supposed to happen 2 weeks ago. People don't even know, but it's kind of, you know, schedules got, you know, conflicted and messed up a little bit. But you earned the right to get on here tonight and share your story, man. So I, you know, would think of no better person, you know, tonight to be able to do this. So I appreciate you, Jay. And in closing, as I always say, always strive for the top, because it is crowded as hell
at the bottom. I swear.
Period. So y'all be cool. Until next time, you know, we will definitely talk. Saffold, the problem child. If you don't know him, now you know him. All right, get in tune with him. Support, you know, his mission, his goal, whatever it is that, you know, he's doing. You know, him and his boy, everybody that chimed on, Mama, Mike, Gina, Cardi, call me, man. We need to talk anyway. I definitely need to get you back on. All right, but y'all be cool. We'll holler. Peace.